Hello there, my beautiful collective signs. Thanks for watching. My name is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is collective general reading. I do these weekly readings every Sunday, so make sure you tune in for that. If something resonates, please smash that like button. It helps me know that my messages are reaching those who need to see them, and it helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. So I am going to dive into your energy. Before I get on camera, I meditate to different songs, just kind of like whatever pops up on it's not really even a playlist. It's just like a YouTube music. So whatever pops up is kind of the energy that I go with. And the song that came on this time was What I Want by Kalani, but it was like it kind of sounds like the Christina Aguilera, like What a Girl Wants in the mix. And somehow they've, I don't know, put the two of those songs together. So it was a very interesting energy, but there's a lot about love here. So I kind of just go wherever the cards take me. I wasn't intending for this to be a love reading, but if it's here and you're interested in love, then this is definitely a message for you. I do feel like there's more than one person in your energy at this time. And when it comes to love, there's possibly an air sign and an earth sign, because there's two different energies that I'm picking up on here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the tarot first. And then after I'm done with the tarot, I'm going to pull a bunch of like oracle cards. So if you're just here for the tarot reading and that's all you want to see, that's cool. That's going to be the first part. And then if you're interested in the oracle readings, usually there's some cohesive messages there from spirit. So your current situation, your current energy at this time is like hermit mode, which I thought was interesting because there's a lot of stuff going on, but I feel like you're really doing some introspection when it comes to love. And this is like learning to love yourself mostly is what I see here. Now, we have some really cool stuff happening this lunar cycle, and I do feel like that's very impactful for a lot of us at this time, particularly for Virgo signs, because there is a new there's just a whole new level of love on the horizon. Now, this reading I am recording in like the end of August, but there are going to be very cool shifts happening in September. So there is a lunar north node on September 17th and in Pisces, and then there's also a south node eclipse on October the 2nd in Libra. So there's going to be some balancing out of chaotic things happening. And then there's also a new moon in Virgo on September the 2nd. So make sure you're planting the seeds of just Virgo type energy of things, which is usually like, I think of Virgo as like organization and putting things into and prioritizing certain aspects of your lifestyle. That's kind of my Virgo thoughts, but I'm pretty sure the Hermit is a Virgo card. So some of you might have really strong Virgo placements at this time, or just the Virgo new moon is going to be very significant for you. Now, the thing that's crossing your current Hermit energy is the Knight of Pentacles. This is like your first offer of love. This is a slow moving offer. For some of you, this is definitely twin flame, because I pulled out 2 6s in your cards here consecutively, which is very rare to do, just because there's 78 cards in the tarot deck and 2 6s came out. It's not typical, but I go with the energy again. So I do feel like for some of you, you have been waiting for someone to come back into your life, and I do see that there is going to be options for you, but you will have a choice to make when it comes to this love. Now, the next card I have is kind of like the basis of your situation when it comes to love, and I do feel like a lot of you are struggling, you're conflicted, because it's the 5 of Wands here, and this is all about chaos and conflict. So maybe you've had a hard time when it comes to love, just like fighting your head and your heart and trying to decide who's best for you versus what you're attracted to. Now, psychologically, we are all programmed subconsciously from birth to be sort of attracted. This sounds weird, but it's true. Sort of attracted to our caregivers, because they are the people from ages 0 to 7 who have trained us on how to love and how to show affection and those sorts of things. So subconsciously, as we get older, if we've not done healing or shadow work or, healed a lot of the traumas that we subconsciously go through, we attract people, be it friendships, be it bosses or partners, life partners, whatever it is, romantic interests. We attract them because it's like a familiar feeling that comes with choosing a partner or a spouse or whatever, it is for you, because we're accustomed to feeling a certain way and having our needs be either met or not met by those types of people. So I do feel like the conflict here is you're learning and you're growing and you're trying to move out of this mindset. And I do feel like the shift is happening for a lot of us collectively because, with all of the COVID stuff that happened years ago, even though that seems long ago gone, it's really not, because it was kind of a universal hermit mode where everybody had to kind of be trapped in their own home and in a place where they couldn't really have an escape from. And that was almost like a big collective dark night of the soul, because there was nowhere to go other than into the world that you had created. And a lot of people, once they had that realization of this is what is happening and this is where I am, there was no pivot point for anyone. And I think that really brought a lot of enlightenment and shifts to people's mindsets. And that also spurred a lot of this introspective type stuff where you lean into the shadow work and you try to understand, why is it that I'm doing this? Is this a pattern? And then you kind of evaluate your own behavior. Now, the past of the situation that you're in when it comes to love is the Wheel of Fortune, which is kind of an interesting card to have for this reading. Now, I do a Celtic cross. That's kind of the spread that I pull. I guess I should have said that at the beginning. Sorry, but if you've been on my channel, then you're going to come to know that I always do a Celtic cross. Now, this Wheel of Fortune is all about moving forward. It's about divine timing at play and things progressing. So every person that you've been with romantically has been a soulmate. It's been a divinely guided contract for you to learn a lesson for some sort of reason. Could be a past life connection where you needed to let karma kind of play out in this life in order to bring balance to that. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you've learned the lesson of whatever it is you were supposed to learn. For a lot of you, it might have been humility or something. So I'm just going to pull a card here. So it says purpose. You possess the determination and dedication to consciously demonstrate love. So maybe you've just been trying to find your purpose and that was your mission. And maybe somebody was getting in the way of whatever your soul purpose or your soul mission was. And you've had to make a choice to consciously let that person go and move forward, or to take time and introspect yourself in order to prioritize your own needs and your own healing. And I do feel like there is a victory here, because your present card is the Six of Wands, and this is a victorious card. This is celebrating yourself, celebrating your choices, celebrating your decisions. And not only that, but the next card that came out for the near future is the Six of Swords, which is another very cool synchronicity. And again, 2 6s, which to me is a number that symbolizes the twin flame kind of journey. So some of you might be a runner, some of you might be a chaser, or you're dealing with that. And the Six of Swords in your near future here symbolizes you're going from choppy waters into calm seas, because you're walking away from things that no longer serve you, because you're very self-aware and very reflective at this time. There's a lot of positivity here. So that's your power in the situation, is not only have you found your purpose, but you have made a conscious choice to walk away from things that don't serve you anymore. Now, the next card I have is about people around you. This is kind of about their perspective of you in this situation, and this is the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is all about filling up your own cup first in order to allow that overflow to fill up other people's cups as well. And I do feel like you are putting yourself first and prioritizing your own needs, and that's how you fill up that Ace of Cups first, so then you have a plethora to run off into other people's cups. Otherwise, you're emptying your own cup. It's like a hole in the bucket, and I don't think you're doing that anymore. And maybe that's something you used to do, but you're shifting out of that mindset. Now, your hopes and your fears is the King of Cups here, and that is like, the King of Cups is like practical love. This is love on a different level, though. This is, am I actually going to be able to find someone who will like match me? I wanted to sing that song, like, is somebody going to match my freak? But it's like, I've done the shadow work. I've done the internal healing. Am I going to be able to find, this real King of Cups here who's going to be able to sit on the throne beside me and help us elevate each other? And I do feel like your answer here is absolutely yes. I do feel like you are going to have some tests of people coming in because of the Knight of Pentacles and because of the Knight of Swords. You do have options. So Spirit is really asking you to go within and use discernment here, because that's very vital at this time. Choosing between your head and your heart, and kind of using the past experiences to move forward and decide. Now, the Knight of Swords is a fast-moving offer. This is like a kind of like the Lusties card. It's a very quick, hot, passionate energy. And the Knight of Pentacles is kind of like a slow burn. So when it comes to love, if you have not had very many healthy relationships, you don't really want something that's gonna like fizzle out and bend, and the Knight of Swords is like a sparkler energy when it comes to love. The Knight of Pentacles is like the slow burn friendship card, and that is more of the that's more stable. That's going to be longer lasting. That's going to bring longevity to the situation here. Now, your subconscious energy, I pulled the Fool card, which I thought was very cool to have, because this is a new chapter. This is a new journey, which again, we're going into Virgo time frame, and I do feel like love is transitioning here. And then I pulled a clarifier on that card as well, just to see what was going on. And this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is all about putting the work in, and I do believe this is like, you put the work into yourself first, which is this opportunity from Spirit, this Ace of Cups. So like doing that internal healing and that introspection, and that's going to pay off in the long run. It might not be a quick I just don't feel like it's going to be a quick love thing. I think it's going to take some time and longevity, that it's going to pay off. But I do feel like you are definitely walking away from things that no longer serve you. And that's just part of aligning with your highest self. It's you're not having this lack mentality or this like need to people please when it comes to love. And I do feel like that's a very important point. That was weird. Okay. I shuffle these cards, but for whatever reason, this card came out, so I'm going to take it. Now, this is renewal. This is tied to your root chakra. Some of you are experiencing a rebirth. Maybe you have been going through a dark night of the soul, or an ego death. This is another name for a dark night of the soul, and you're in this renewal phase where you've planted the seeds of growth, and you've watered them, and you have taken the time to really like fertilize the area. This is kind of a metaphor, obviously, but I do feel like you've really taken the time to focus on yourself and your healing, and that is going to pay off because you're in this renewal phase. Now, change and transitioning is always a little bit funky. Like, it doesn't always feel good. So if you've been feeling like kind of morose, I do feel like celebrating yourself is necessary. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Some of you are stuck in a rut. So this card is number 37. It's never ending story. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. This is kind of like you're trapped in your thoughts. You're just like, is this ever going to work out? Is this ever going to happen? Are things ever going to shift into, this love situation? And you have a change in the wind, which is number 12. So those might be significant numbers for you, but I do feel like things are shifting. It is a slow and steady race though. And, again, sometimes it's just painful to kind of be waiting for love after you've worked so hard on yourself to change and shift, because there's a lot of there's just a lot of divine timing at play here. So you are divinely guided. Don't forget that. Don't lose hope, even if it feels like things are not maybe working in your favor. If you do or are receiving like multiple offers when it comes to love, I do feel like these are little tests from spirit to see if you're actually ready, if you've actually like shifted out of an old mindset. So this card is from my third eye intuition. This says, act. What time is it right now? Don't look at the phone, watch, or the clock. Clear your mind and check. Are you right or are you way off? How is your intuition tracking at this moment? Again, this is kind of just aligning and attuning to your intuition. Now, we all have intuition. It's just something we're born with. Sometimes we lose it with our conditioning and we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our judgment. And that's just kind of a part of the lesson and the part of the human experience is learning how to trust your instinct and your gut versus, everybody telling you what to think and what to do and what to be all the time. Now, the card I have for you from my other deck, I don't really know the name of this deck, but it's the Ankh. This is the symbol of eternal life. This is a pretty popular ancient Egyptian symbol, but it's also a symbol that's closely linked to the toroidal field, which if you know what a torus field is, it's basically our energetic, electromagnetic energy that kind of, it can be measured. This is scientific, okay? So basically, energy is infinite. We are all infinite beings. I'm trying to phrase this in like layman's terms. When we die, 21 grams of our energy disappears. It goes into the ether or the quantum realms, as people like to call it. And it is a scientifically measurable thing. So our soul, our entity, our very being, our essence doesn't just kind of dissipate anywhere. It just goes somewhere we can't see it with our human eyes. So our human eyes can only see like 5% of baryonic matter, and that's not very much in the realm of the world. So the Ankh is basically just a reminder that there is no beginning, there is no end. So even if you're experiencing some sort of loss, like we are all interconnected, we are all interwoven, and there's just no end of love, especially. So we are infinite energy. We are all loving awareness. Now, this card is from my moon deck. It says, I allow my soul to lead the way. So again, this is tapping into your intuition, your inner gnosis, that inner knowing, that deep knowing that your higher self knows. And sometimes that's hard to listen to when there's a lot of static going on in the world, a lot of fear-based stuff. Now, this is from my archetype deck. I think this is Kim Cran's. Yeah, she does this one. And then I have 2 more oracle cards to pull. Wow, okay. This is interesting. I think I got this card for, who was it? Gemini or Capricorn pulled this card, the vow. So some of you are making a vow to yourself. Some of you have maybe sworn to yourself you're never going to put yourself in a certain situation again. You're never going to allow yourself to give up too much of yourself to any other person again. I do feel like you're making a vow to yourself about love. And maybe you're just not putting yourself in a situation where it's going to compromise not only your integrity but your finances is what I'm getting here. So that's a very specific message. All right. The moon card I have for you is you and your loved ones are safe, new moon and Cancer. So this card I do get from time to time. This card I kind of like and then I kind of don't like it, because sometimes when people are succeeding and doing well, other people really try to bring you down back to their level, especially if you've moved on or you closed out a chapter or you're like ending a cycle and you're moving forward. Sometimes people don't like that, the shift, the change, because they may not be at the same frequency as you are anymore. And that's when like envy and jealousy and those things creep in. And I do feel like Spirit is saying like, hey, we have your back. So just be aware. We are human, we are fragile beings, but you are protected. And usually with the chosen ones, you are protected, you are divinely guided, and your spirit guides or ancestors try to give you a heads up subliminally about people who may not be here to help you align to your highest best selves. This is interesting. 58 opening. I think I also got this for Gemini. So it says opening brings people together and begins a lively creative process of sharing and exchange. It liberates human energies, motivates people to overcome hardship, and encourages perseverance. It means joyful and outgoing expression that opens up communication. How can you fully enjoy the moment? What are you bringing to expression? And what if you communicated and exchanged more freely? So if you've been feeling very much so tied in this hermit mode, Spirit is asking you to kind of break out of that shell a little bit. Sometimes you might be a little apprehensive to get on with new people or different people, but I do feel like Spirit has your back. Again, that's like this card does. You are divinely guided, you are divinely protected, and I do feel like there are good things coming for the collective generally. So take this message as it resonates. Again, if it helped, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're interested in a personalized tarot and oracle reading, I can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.